This episode is brought to you by Babylon Burning. Since 1976, Babylon Burning has been serving small businesses, nonprofits, and indie artists and operations like Storied SF. What began in a small utility room in Bernal Heights by an art school dropout today finds its home in the heart of South of Market. Mike Lynch and his family and crew took over in 2001, surviving the dot-com bubble, the Great Recession, the pandemic, and an ever-changing social climate. Please consider Babylon Burning for all your screen printing needs. Reach them at babylont.com and follow them on social media at Babylon Burning Inc.
Some people give me constructive feedback that like a platform like History of the Bay is like boxed in because it limits me to only covering Bay Area topics. But the thing is, I live in a place that influenced the entire world in every aspect of popular culture and beyond. Activism, politics, sports, I mean, you name it, right?
That was hip-hop artist, graffiti writer, and host of History of the Bay, Dregs One. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco, a podcast about artists, activists, and small businesses that make this city unlike any other in the world. In part 2, Dregs tells us of his early days tagging and rapping. His evolution as an artist happened amid life events, the death of his dad, and of course, the pandemic. Today, he's the host of History of the Bay, which is available on YouTube and recently hit 100 episodes. Here's the conclusion of my conversation with Dregs One.
Yeah, and so that was the day, literally the day I started doing graffiti. And
the same day after that you
it was the
with
same
Mike Gill.
day, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
shit. Wow.
It was the same day. And
What a
then
day.
I had already like kind of experimented with rapping and freestyling.
Okay.
And then I was like, looked at his turntables and his mixer, and I'm like, can you use this to like make a demo? I don't even know what a demo is, but he's like, yeah, you can. And I was like, all right, well, I'm finna start rapping. And
this is like early 2000s,
it's
maybe?
2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's 01. So that was pretty much same day graffiti. And music, I didn't actually do it until later, but it was like the seeds were planted.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy to think about being like 14 or 15 or whatever, and it all landed on one day.
Yeah.
You probably didn't even, like, you knew that something crazy was happening, but you're like, let's also just roll into this new world, right?
It was
and
just,
do it.
like, there was just so much cool shit in the city, dude.
Yep.
It was just like, whether it was sports stuff or the X Games or just like,
Oh, yeah.
or just some crazy, like I said, the underworld or just whatever. Like, there was always something dope outside.
Mm-hmm.
You go outside, you meet up with your friends, you take some random trip on the bus, you see some crazy shit, you have fun, you meet girls, and then you do it again the next day. It was like that time period. And it's just like these communities, all these neighborhoods, the Sunset, the Excelsior, Lakeview, Tenderloin, Mission is like all oozing creativity. All these kids on all these buses tagging.
Yep.
And it's like you talk about it like, oh, it's a crime, but it's like, nah, these kids, youth culture movements, DJing. They had a DJ club at APG and Nini. That's where Mike learned how to DJ.
Amazing.
And all these local artists were like within reach. Like I said, Gray Scott, no Gray Scott now, you know, and no G Scott. Or like learning my neighborhood is like the like damn near like started hip hop in the Bay with Cougnut and Ill Manor Posse and Selsky and Baldhead Rick. These are dudes this is stuff I saw. So it was just like, it wasn't like, wow, what an amazing day. It was just like, cool, I'm doing this now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you're just in it.
I'm just in it. And then I started tagging like every day from there.
And then, so like, did kind of graffiti writing, tagging, and music take off at the same time for you, or?
Nah, it was, so I'm giving you like a really detailed.
I love it.
This might be like the most in-depth I've gotten.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
From there. So me and Mike went to school with another guy named Mike.
Okay.
He went to AP in Lincoln. He was in my Spanish class. And then one day, and so me and Mike are doing our thing. We're cooking up, we're tagging. And then I'm in Spanish class with this other Mike who had also gone to AP with me, black and Salvadoran and Armenian fool.
Okay.
Which is just like me and him, just two weird looking black dudes. Like, and we got kicked out, I think, or I don't know, maybe I got kicked out, or we're just in the hall bullshitting during class. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, so do you tag?" Like thinking like I don't. I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Like, what do you write? And at the time, he's like, "I write inner," and that became my friend Telly Prego is like my best friend. And so same thing. He lived in the Sunset. He's lived a couple blocks from Mike Ill, and same thing. Go to his house after school. I always had a boombox. I had like a Walgreens boombox, $20 boombox. Play tapes.
Yes. Have you seen that? You know the like California thing of like the bear holding California. Have you seen that before? It's supposed to be like a symbol of California or whatever. I saw one, I think yesterday or today, that was a bear, but he's hugging a boombox.
Nice.
Like, yes.
Yeah, that was a thing too. It's like the streets were like active. You would get on the back of the bus, and then people would be playing like the soundtrack or whatever was hot. So I would do that. I would just play whatever I was into, and I started hanging out with Telly Prego, and same thing, tagging, rapping, freestyling, drinking 40s, and just hanging out. So I went to school in the Sunset, and then I'm discovering like, man, this neighborhood is chill. Like my neighborhood ain't really chill like this. Like you can't go to the park and drink a 40 because some older dudes might roll up and be like, what the fuck are you doing here? Mm-hmm. Over there, ain't nobody gonna bother you. It's just old Chinese people and like, you know what I mean? Like you're just chilling. Yep. There's nobody outside. So we would hang in these cuts and we would freestyle and rap and am I answering your question?
Absolutely. Okay, no. It's how you got into music and
music. Yeah. So Telly had this computer program called Cool Edit Pro, and he had it must have been like a $5 mic from Radio Shack. It's like literally
Radio Shack.
A plastic mic that's like the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
With a cord. Mm-hmm. And he sent me this song on AOL Instant Messenger.
Yep.
It's like, Bleep.
AIM.
Yeah, he's like, let me know what you think, bro. And I played it, and it was him rapping over this instrumental by Freeway Flipside. And he was like, I be running. He was like bussing. I was like, what? Like, you did this, bro? Like, what? And he was like, yeah, come to my house. And so we like just started. And his mom like had like rest in peace to Miss Vicky. I love her to death. But she was just like, whatever's clever at his house. He tagged on everything.
Oh, shit.
You have people over whenever you want, damn near.
Dang, that's a cool mom.
We're drinking 40s in the backyard. Smoking blunts, smoking in her car.
Shit. Okay.
It was a little out of control, but yeah, we were like there like rapping. So now we're making songs. And then he called me one day and he was like, yo, Ryan and Caesar, they rap too. I was like, oh, for real? And he's like, yeah, they freestyle. They said they want to battle. I was like, what? These are two other dudes I went to school with. Mm-hmm. So I jump on the bus and meet him at Lawton Park.
Had you done that before? Had you done a battle before?
Yeah, kind of just making fun of people, like just capping on people.
Sure.
Yeah, but not
like this.
Not like face off. So it was like me and Telly versus them two.
Okay.
And I think I ripped everybody, but they were nice too. They were nice. And that was our group. So
okay.
We started recording at Telly's house with the mic
and the Cool Edit Pro.
Him and Caesar would make songs. Me and him would make songs. Just had our like collective, and then we turned it into like a tagging crew called GMC. It did not last very long as a tagging crew, but we used that as the acronym for like our rap group. And then Ryan had got locked up for like a year or two, and then I went to ISA, so I'm out the mix. I'm all the way in Potrero Hill now,
Yep.
and I went to this program called the DJ Project by Horizons Unlimited in the Mission. And this is where they taught us how to record professionally. There was a rapper named Azim who was like helping us learn how to write bars, all that stuff.
Oh, like
record.
write music notes? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
not notes, like
Or-
just write lyrics, how to structure songs.
Got it. Okay.
Make beats. So I went there. I kind of got my skills up. I would still hang out with those guys, my Sunset friends, but yeah. Then by the time that Ryan came home from being locked up, he was like, "We got to get into the studio." And
Like, let's
he's
make
like,
this
"We got to
real."
do this." And we went to the Sunset Youth Center on Judah. There's still a studio there, I believe, and we recorded our first song together. And we got outside. I made the beat, and then we got outside and played in like the car or whatever. And like the kids that was outside was like, "This sounds tight." And I'm jumping around, but like around that time too, we had this reputation of like being like a party crew. Like we show up and rap, and people would be like, "Oh, it's those guys! It's those guys I was telling you about. They freestyle hella good."
Yep.
So we like, and it's four of us, black, white, Latin. We all different neighborhoods. We got a big reach. Taggers, skaters, hustlers. So we had like a big network.
Yep.
And yeah, it was kind of like on from there. Like our generation, like we kind of had it lit with our
Amazing.
crew, GMC Gas Mask Colony.
Gas mask. I was going to ask what
Yeah.
that stands for.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
And then we pretty much jumped into the music from there.
And when did you become Dregs, and what's the story behind that?
I had a few different graffiti names over the years, and I got caught at Lincoln, so I had to change it. And then I just saw the name Dregs, the word Dregs in Scarface, just in the beginning of Scarface, in that little introduction paragraph, where it's like Fidel Castro sent the dregs of his prison. I was like, that is a tight ass word. Just being 16, 17, whatever. And so I started tagging that. That was very short lived because I got caught at ISA for tagging, and then they actually filed charges against me, so I had to go to court. So I had like paperwork on my name, so now they know Dregs One is affiliated with me, so I had to change it again.
Okay.
But people still kept calling me Dregs. It was like my street name.
Yep.
You know, people who barely even knew me were like, "Oh, Dregs, like that one dude." Like, so yeah, it just stuck from there.
All right.
And I haven't been able to get rid of that damn name ever
Shit.
since.
Is it a
So-
sore subject?
No, it's just I don't know, man. I'm like, I wish I would have picked a more like uplifting or like you know what I mean? Like even positive. You look up the meaning of what dregs means. It's not a positive word, but I kind of flipped it to be like, this is what I represent for the people at the bottom. Just like in that Scarface, the dregs of his jails, the people that will, that need to rise together. So and then just also represented for that underworld, underground type of vibe. So I still rock with it, but yeah, I wish I would have. When you're talking about painting something on a wall and just writing dregs, it's like I wish I could have, truth and justice or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Maybe that's your tagline, or your it's Dregs, truth and justice.
Yeah, it could be
Something like that.
Could
I don't
be.
know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just stuck with that name still.
So, but it stuck as a writing name, but also a performing name.
Yeah, it was
right?
kind of like cross promotion. Like, so
Right.
now I know anytime I hit up to this day, if I write dregs on a wall, it promotes
Totally.
my brand.
Yep.
And I also got to shout out this dude Topper. He was one of the first like MCs that I met, but he was like pretty much the only active graffiti writer that was also rapping.
Okay.
And same thing, he would be at the house parties. We were young, going to these older dudes' parties, and we would run into people like Topper, this other dude, Conceit, and Topper. But Topper was up, like he was actually like he's Lord's crew. He was like a factor in graffiti, So I kind of saw that. I was like, okay.
That's
All
what you
right,
want to
that's my
do.
lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely don't want to leave anything in your story out, but like, how do we get from what we're talking about to your first? Because it started with interest, right? Of like, there's this history, and I want to tell it through other people. But like, how do we get?
Oh, you want to go all the way to history of the Bay?
Let's do it.
All right, that's like you skipping out like 15 years,
I
but
know that's what I mean. Well, also maybe let's start there. What are some things that?
I mean, I'll give you I'll summarize. I mean, it's hard, dude, because I
Right.
did so many things.
Right.
The music was cool. The Gas Mask Colony music was good. I did solo music too, but I wasn't pursuing. I didn't know how to pursue it as a business.
Right.
So the short end of it is, after a few years, it fell by the wayside. My group mates, like, life happened, you know,
Yep.
and this lifestyle of like you just hang out and drink 40s and rap and like that's like never land. Like
Right.
we didn't really figure out, okay, let's make this our job. So I had other jobs working with youth. Certain dudes were hustling. Certain people were just not really doing anything. And so it just kind of fell by the wayside. I didn't really believe in music. I should have. I do now. I didn't believe that it would be. I needed a backup plan. That's what I thought. I was just scared of like hearing all these stories, record labels screw you over,
Yep.
and then at the same time you understand like I'm competing against artists who are like funded by labels or like street money. Like dudes just throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars at these projects. I'm like trying to scramble up a few thousand to put out a CD or something.
Put it out yourself. Yep.
So I'm like, all right, I don't need, blah, blah, blah. So I go to school, City College. Then I try going to UC Riverside. So I left the Bay for like 2 years.
I was
Went
going
to
to
LA.
ask if you ever did or thought about. So, okay.
Yep. So I did that. That was the best thing I could do because it allowed me to like see more. And I dropped out of there though. And then I was just working with youth, counseling, tenderloin, stuff like that. Still putting out music when I can, but like as I get older, even I'm 38 now, but when I was like 27, I was like, I'm getting too old. I didn't realize, so it's like I'm just saying that to like that lack of belief
Right.
kind of cost me in that sense.
Okay.
It was all worked out because I did a lot of amazing things. I was very involved in the community. But
And the music you were doing at this time, you were doing solo?
I was doing solo stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I was producing, still doing my thing, always still have fans, always still tour, did shows, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was
but
gonna ask about
not
shows.
like to the level I'm doing things now.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to go as quick as possible, but I
no,
had
that's
this
fine.
job in supportive housing in the Tenderloin, and this woman living there had like a psychotic breakdown.
Okay.
Like a crystal meth fueled breakdown. And I'm like about to leave. I'm like the only person in the office, like, all right, long day, about to go home.
Shit.
And then she comes in like the Tasmanian devil. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh shit. So
Damn.
I had to like stay there and like talk, okay, yeah, calm down, take a seat, call the ambulance, call the supervisor, leave a voicemail. All right, stay there like 2 hours. And then like the next morning, like the clinical supervisor is like, you are so talented, but I can't believe you did all that by yourself. You'll never get compensated until you have a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
I was like, shit.
That's like a lot of work.
I'm a
and
college
debt.
dropout, yes. But I was like, fuck it. And then, the music wasn't popping off. I was like, whatever, I'll go back to school. Went to San Francisco State.
Yep.
And then from there, I actually did hella well. Best time in my life in school, straight A student. I took like, I don't remember how much, 30 units, something insane, like a way more than a full workload. Straight A's. I finally had black teachers, black male teachers.
Yes.
And one of them, Dr. Sean Wright, was like, go to graduate school. I was like, all right. And then he's like, pick a graduate program. And I looked at the graduate programs, and the one that seemed the best to me was law. I was like, oh, wouldn't that be tight? Like I have a criminal record, like now I'm finna go to law school
I
and
mean,
like
criminals make the best lawyers.
that's true.
For real, yeah.
Yeah. So
Don't make the best presidents. But anyway.
I mean, yeah, that's probably true too. But yeah, so I basically, long story short, man, I went to law school, UC Davis. I did really well there. Passed the bar. I got hired by a top worldwide law firm, and I'm thinking, all right, cool. I'm finna make 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
I'm done struggling. This rap thing's been cool, but I gotta say sayonara, you know.
Yep.
But the people I worked for were like, why? Like, you can still do it. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah, we don't care. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh. And then at the same time, like, my music that I was making got hella better. It started getting a better response. Around this time, I linked up with Andre Nicotina. I did a song with him.
I just watched that video for this
right on.
recording. So
yeah,
good.
I did that song. It kind of turned things up for me.
I'm not even part of that culture, but that gave me the feels.
Right on.
I loved it.
Mode.
Fog
yeah,
mode, yes.
Yeah,
so good.
So it was a good, and this was pandemic.
Yes.
So working from home as a lawyer sucked.
Yeah.
It was not fun. And then at the same time, this is popping. Things started opening up. Andre put me on some shows. And then it started getting better than ever. And I started really being like, well, so now I can do this. Like, I didn't believe or I'd see that this is my job. Like, how do I make this a job? And then he gave me a lot of advice. And that led me, long story long,
all good.
That led me to be like, my social media is not popping. My name is not ringing like it should be. People who know me, fuck with me. But a lot of people don't know who I am. How do I increase my presence? People say, use TikTok. All right, how do you use TikTok? You do a dance, you do what? And people are like, just talk about things that you like. Talk about yourself. Talk about your interests. I'm like, well, I don't really see people talking about the rap I grew up on, Cold World Hustlers and Totally Insane and Messy Marv and San Juan. Let me talk about that. Let me talk about graffiti, Psycho City, Twist, all these people, and it blew up. Like,
there you go.
Literally overnight.
Yep.
And actually, I'll say this too. I haven't really said this, but in December 1st, 2021, my dad passed away suddenly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. And I was just like, again, I had another moment like, well, this shit's over. Like, no more bullshitting. Like, I got to take care of my mom. I got what? My whole life turned upside down.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, oh, I got to give up my pipe dream and get serious. But as I was grieving, I was like, the creativity got me through it. And similar to when I talked about the pandemic, it sucked. A lot of my artist friends were like, I don't know what to do. Everything's canceled. And I don't blame them. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm finna get it cracking. And that's when I linked with Andre. I was still, even in the pandemic, even in the lockdown, I was like hustling. So same thing when my dad passed. I took a few weeks to grieve, but then I got in motion. So he passed December. I did the first History of the Bay video in March, 4 months later.
Okay.
And it blew up.
Am I wrong? You just hit recently 100 episodes?
100 episodes. So that was,
congratulations.
This was just me. Thank you. That was just me on TikTok, but that got so big of a response that I'm like, I need to launch this into a podcast.
Got it.
So the TikTok was on March, and then the podcast was like November. And also during that time, I got laid off from my lawyer job because they're like, at this point, you're just bullshitting. Like, what are you doing? And I was like,
were they right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because all this shit was popping off for me. I'm like doing
Right.
shows with Nicotina.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, my music's popping, my followers are growing. And then I got to go look at spreadsheets, like, Monday through Friday. And like, And also, I'm in this world where I don't relate to nobody. I'm in corporate law.
Oh, yeah.
It was hard, you know. So some people are like, "Oh, you did all that law school?" Just no, I did all that because now I apply it to what I do now. I run things very professionally. I run it like a business. I know how to talk. I know that world. I know law. I know contracts. I know all this stuff. So it was a complete value. It's totally valuable.
And did you get some good money out of it while you're there?
I did, and then
There
they
you go.
fired me, and then I got a severance package. So I was like, all right, well, I wanted to quit anyway. It was just a matter of time.
They did you the favor.
It did me a favor. I
Yep.
got a severance package, and I got unemployment. And so I was like, all right, I'm finna really do this. I bought a plane ticket to Europe. I went to Europe. I toured Europe, and I toured Japan. And I put out an album, and I started my podcast. And I've been a professional artist almost 3 years now.
Wow, I love this story.
Right
I
on.
love that story. Let's, in your words, let's have you plug like where you are on all the internets and how people can find you, or even find you in real life if that's possible.
No, don't try to find me in real life. Dregs1.com, DREGSONE. .com, DREGS_ONE on all social media. Dregs One on YouTube, History of the Bay podcast on all podcast platforms, music on all music platforms, and really exciting stuff coming soon with the podcast, with the music, and with some other projects that we're working on. So I appreciate you giving me this platform to talk to your listeners.
100%. Thank you for coming on the show. I have one thing I'd like to end every episode. Well, every season of my podcast, I have a theme, and every episode I like to ask my guests if they can riff on a theme. So this year it's keep it local. I mean, born and raised, everything we've been talking about for 15 minutes is you keeping it local. But in that, like, what does that phrase mean to you? What does it mean to you to keep it local?
Well, for me, some people give me constructive feedback that like a platform like History of the Bay is like boxed in because it limits me to only covering Bay Area topics. But the thing is, I live in a place that influenced the entire world in every aspect of popular culture and beyond. Activism, politics, sports, I mean, you name it, right? So for me, keeping it local is there's only a few places on earth that are so popular, you don't have to be from them to be fans of them. Example is New York City. Before I even went to New York City, I knew the geography, I knew the history, I knew the people, I knew the neighborhoods, I knew the culture, because there's so much culture, there's so much created around that area. Los Angeles is another way, and these things attract people to come visit it because they want to see it. So my thing is, I'm going to talk about San Francisco and the Bay Area and let people know that we got it going on over here, and continue to highlight the culture, because my job is to make it look good. So that we complain a lot about in the Bay, we don't get our respect, we don't get our credit. Well, we got to keep putting it out there. So that's how I keep it local.
That was Dregs One. The next podcast is part 1 of the last episode of season 7 of Storied SF. Meet and get to know Carolyn Sideko. Episode 19 drops next Tuesday, wherever you get podcasts. Music for Storied San Francisco was produced, performed, and curated by Otis McDonald. Our contributing producer is Aaron Lim of Bitch Talk Podcast. And the show is produced and hosted by me, Jeff Hunt. Now in our 7th season, we have more than 270 episodes available on our website, storiedsf.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If possible, please rate and review the show. I want to know what you think. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at storiedsf, and reach out to us there or email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Be super careful crossing the street, and keep being wacky, creative, and kind out there. See you next time on Storied San Francisco. We acknowledge and respect the first humans of the unceded land we call San Francisco, the Ramaytush Ohlone. We condemn the genocide of these and other tribes across the Western Hemisphere. We honor their legacy and history, and we support rematriation and sovereignty efforts.
This podcast is a proud member of the BFF.FM podcast network. Learn more at podcast.bff.fm.
BFF.FM, best frequencies forever.